Welcome to Caution Dog, where we navigate the maze of modern tech. Are brain chips quietly infiltrating our lives? Join us on a journey through the digital frontier as we unravel the mysteries of emerging technology. Hit subscribe, unleash the curiosity, and let's dive deep into the world of Caution Dog.
Neuralink, Elon Musk's brain chip company, recently pushed back on claims that it violated animal welfare laws a few years ago while testing on monkeys. This year, the company plans to test on human subjects. But when it does, what would this major step mean for brain implant science?
Tech billionaire Elon Musk is saying his Neuralink company has successfully implanted one of its wireless brain chips in a human for the first time. Mr. Musk says the product has been given the name telepathy, and the plan is for it to enable control of a phone, computer, or almost any linked device just by thinking about them.
What Elon Musk's Neuralink is trying to do is essentially to create a brain-computer interface that will allow a human being to carry out an action through thought alone. Now, it involves implanting a number of microchips into the brain that connect to a part of the brain that is responsible for movement intention. It has the effect that wirelessly it can send a signal to an app that can interpret a person's intentions. This device will enable control of your phone or computer, and through them almost any device just by thinking.
Elon Musk's brain science company has implanted a device into a human for the first time. The unidentified person received a brain chip implant Sunday, and Musk says U.S. Food and Drug Administration has given Neuralink clearance last year to conduct its first trial to test its implant on humans. Neuralink says the brain chip is designed to allow people to control almost any device just by thinking.
Elon Musk, yes, him again, says his controversial Neuralink brain chip has been implanted into a human being. The product is called telepathy, and the company's goal is to connect human brains to computers to help tackle complex neurological conditions. Some people are disputing the billionaire's claim, while others are more optimistic about the new technology. Well, I mean, this is nightmare territory. What is happening here? They're planting chips in our brains. David Icke warned about this years ago.
You know what doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever? Conspiracy theorists get really angry and suggest that Bill Gates wants mind control. Elon Musk arguably achieves it and gets praised for it. So it's a really interesting situation we find ourselves in. Elon Musk himself is the ultimate showman and has gone as far as suggesting eventually you'll basically be able to download your memories to a computer like you're in the Matrix with Keanu Reeves. This first service that they're suggesting here called telepathy, the idea is it will link to somebody, enable somebody's brain to control, let's say, a keyboard or a mouse just by thinking of the letter or by thinking about how you direct maybe a mouse cursor on screen. And that's the first product they're looking to get to. And they're not there yet. They're working in a situation where what they've got at the moment is a method of reading people's brain waves. And they're going to work and develop that. And now they've got this first chip in somebody's head. They're going to obviously work quickly to try and make this a project. They've got 6 years of trials with this through the FDA. So this isn't something that's suddenly going to be released and we're all going to be able to buy one, but they're going to go through a fairly detailed process. And the reason why some people are doubting this right now, Musk has come out and said something, the FDA haven't said anything, and they have to approve every installation of this thing at the moment in testing. And there's not been any real evidence from anyone else other than Elon Musk saying it's happened.
Wow, they're putting chips in our brains. They're going to be able to read us as we walk through barriers. And this is the new passport, which, as you rightly say, Bill Gates would be accused exactly of that. He doesn't just want to vaccinate you. He wants to put a chip in your brain. And there's no doubt about it. All of those people would be absolutely the same people that would attack Bill Gates will be congratulating Elon Musk. Going, yeah, good old Elon. He knows what he's doing. He's there. He's a benevolent old chum, and that's what he's up to. So that was what the headlines looked like this morning. That it was some kind of chip that was going to, act as, our ID. But actually, it's a medical procedure. That's the first real headline, isn't it? This is a medical procedure. And Musk is able to do it not because he's a doctor or a neurosurgeon, but because he's got lots of money.
And he's the ultimate showman. And basically how this works at the moment is this chip is embedded into your brain with 66 They're not wires, but they're technically almost like threads, which are like hairs that link to various points on your brain. And given that Elon Musk is now the world's second richest person, because he's lost that prime position again, he's still got plenty of money that he can put into projects like this and back projects that get people's attention. But for all of the showman stuff about, oh yeah, you're going to be able to go to bed at night and wake up in the morning and you'll have downloaded or uploaded a whole new language, you're going to wake up in the morning and speak Cantonese. That's just Elon Musk cobblers at the moment. It's marketing BS.
But I guess, where we sort of become part cyborg.
Yeah, look, this is the next frontier. They know that now they can read brain waves and brain activity successfully wirelessly or without, a connection other than when you've had the chip wired in. They can start interpreting all kinds of things. It's going to help with people who've maybe lost the ability to speak, all kinds of stuff. And that's the more exciting thing for me. It's enabling some of those people who've maybe lost or become disabled, rather than the kind of, we're going to start creating a whole jacked up generation of cyber enhanced people who are going to be able to cheat automatically in pub quizzes. It's like there's sort of there should be a bit of a focus on the medical sector before we go fully into the world of science fiction and what's going to be possible. But if this works, this is the start, because more and more companies that can make this procedure easier, because it's still a heck of a procedure to have a chip implanted in your brain. One of the controversies, Ian, was they killed over 1,500 animals during the initial experiments to try and make this sort of stuff work. So you're going into a situation where there's a long road to go.
There is, yes.
Classic Elon Musk. Lots of noise right up the front.
Clinical trials in people with brain implants.
Dr. Paul Nyajukian is a professor of bioengineering and neurosurgery. He directs the brain interfacing laboratory at Stanford.
Almost exclusively been with wires. The difference that the N1 has, that the Neuralink, it's fully implantable, it is battery powered, it is wireless.
Let's dive into the science behind Neuralink to understand how exactly human brain chips work.
The science logical recording. When you move your arm to the right, certain sets of neurons are activated in a certain pattern. Listening in, you can predict very quickly which direction the arm is going to move. Your muscle.
Unless that pathway from the brain to the spinal cord to the muscle is damaged,
then the neural signals, the signals from the brain, aren't going to get down to move the muscles. Reach in and put something that listens in to those neurons, and you know what's happening to the muscle.
And that's the goal of a brain implant. Now let's look at a timeline of brain interface breakthroughs over the years. Scholars have long been interested in how the brain works, so it's important to view these new developments at Neuralink as a culmination of breakthroughs by brain-machine interface researchers, especially in the last few decades. For example, in 2002, the first demonstration of real-time cursor control in monkeys took place. 2008, a monkey controlling a robotic arm in 3 dimensions fed itself. 2012, the first brain-controlled robotic arm by a human. 2017, a human controlled a cursor mentally to type out words and sentences. Dr. Nyajukian was part of this study, as well as the one in 2018, where a human subject mentally controlled a tablet to do things like browse the web, send emails, and play games or music.
All that's been done with a couple hundred electrodes.
But in 2019, Neuralink, a private company, changed the game when it unveiled a pig named Gertrude with a wireless implant that monitored about 1,000 neurons.
The neurons are like wiring, and you kind of need an electronic thing to solve an electronic problem.
And overnight, it seemed the industry took notice. Then, in April of 2021, Neuralink released the so-called Mind Pong video.
Which is, the type of monkey that is very commonly used in this field. Implanted with 2 of the N1 devices, the Neuralink devices, performing brain control of a cursor on a screen. Here, Neuralink is showing their new hardware, their new device in their hands, works in a monkey. You're ready to go into human clinical trials. That's the evidence the FDA is looking for.
The recording power of the N1 device in Pager was eye-opening because of the sheer number of individual electrodes that had been implanted.
To build a device that can transmit 2,048 electrodes worth.
So with all those electrodes, how does a device like the N1 get implanted in a subject's brain?
Make no mistake, this is neurosurgery. It is not a joke. This requires cutting the skin, getting down to skull, drilling a hole in the skull, exposing what's called the dura, which is this protective layer of tissue that surrounds the brain, cutting the dura, folding it back to expose the brain, and then you get to the surface of the brain where you can implant the electrodes. The biggest risks with these types of techniques are infection, bleeding, and tissue damage.
So what would it take for the FDA to approve clinical trials in humans?
The Neuralink device are called Class 3 medical devices. They are implantable and they're going into very sensitive body cavities. That is the highest level of scrutiny that the FDA assigns to medical devices. They don't have a predecessor. There's no previous example that's approved. And so, very appropriately, they got a high bar they have to cross in order to get it approved. So what Neuralink has to do next is prepare a very long and technical document with all the evidence from animal studies that their device is safe and effective. This document is submitted to the FDA, who has 90 days to review and give them an answer. If the FDA says yes, then their clinical trial is approved and Neuralink can enroll and recruit human participants. How much happier could the scientific community be than to give birth to an industry?
So will this industry someday lead to the creation of cyborg humans with superhuman intelligence?
As we conclude our exploration into the realm of brain chip technology infiltrating our lives, remember to stay informed and engage in conversations shaping our future. The fusion of cutting-edge technology with our daily existence raises thought-provoking questions. What does the future hold? How will these advancements impact our society? Join us in the ongoing dialogue, subscribe for more insightful content, and together, let's navigate the fascinating intersections of technology and life on Caution Dog YouTube channel.